Unity on three. 1, 2, 3. Unity!
He'd like to come in and block and lower you off. Yeah. You got to stay there. Come on. They're not rushing. They call it out. Right over.
Hello everybody and welcome to the home opener here at Buena Vista football. Scott Heinley along with Andrew Peacock. Today it's Buena Vista versus William Penn. Buena Vista coming off a big season opening victory over Upper Iowa last week. A 24-21 victory in overtime over in Fayette. And Beavers really excited. Last year they coming off a disappointing 3-7 season, but they got off on the right foot on Saturday last week. And so tonight's opponent is William Penn, Andy, and William Penn is coming in with an 0-1 record. They got beat up a little bit by Wartburg last week. When you take a look at these two teams, last year both teams were dead last in total offense in the Iowa Conference. William Penn in the basement and Buena Vista just one notch above them in 8th place. So both teams, I think, are going to be looking for some offense in this one. William Penn, they like to throw the ball, don't they, Andy? Let's talk a little bit about some keys to victory today.
Exactly right, Scott. Coach Mick Caba told me before the game here, they run sort of a run-and-shoot type of offense. They had 5 turnovers last week. They surely want to eliminate those. Special teams also a big factor for Coach Caba. They want to have the opportunity to win in the 4th quarter. They were ahead 24-22 over Wartburg at halftime. They fell apart in the second half and gave up a big second half, ultimately losing 63-24. Coach Caba also said they have the offensive firepower to stay with Buena Vista. They just got to have that opportunity in the 4th quarter, as we mentioned earlier, and they got to prevent some big plays by Buena Vista in that second half also.
That's right, and talk about key plays. Buena Vista did come up with some huge plays all throughout the game last weekend, especially in the second half. Buena Vista forcing turnovers, making the plays, whatever it takes. They scored a defensive touchdown, and when it looked like they would fold, they didn't, and Coach Hadchuk talked about it. This team wants to be mentally tough, and that's what they've certainly proved last Saturday. The team's mentally tough. They're ready to go. Last year they would have lost the game against Upper Iowa last weekend, but this is a whole brand new team, Andy. 24 seniors on this team. Not a lot of them play, but also a deep team. Buena Vista, you'll see 50, 55 players rotating in throughout the game today, so we're going to be busy calling numbers. William Penn's going to, especially a lot of cornerbacks. William Penn's going to be rotating flankers in, wide receivers. They look to pass, probably 3 times out of every 4 plays. The quarterback, Michael Caba, he's the son of the head coach, and he was injured last year, so he did not play last year when William Penn played. It's also an interesting note, William Penn did play here last year at Buena Vista, and that's because of the quirk in schedule with Cone Cornell being added to the conference. William Penn has to come back here again this year. That's just the way it works out, being that every game is in the conference this year. Anything else we need to look at, Andy, today? Buena Vista was great in rushing defense last year. They only allowed 112 yards a game, but William Penn really doesn't look to rush it, so
I guess it'll kind of depend on those defensive backs. When we look at Buena Vista, they do have a very speedy core of wide receivers. Of course, the Tryon brothers, Josh Wigg and Brent Mackey back there, kind of another one of the factors will be the heat today. With temperatures approaching 90 degrees, players could be cramping. So look for a lot of substitutions, a lot of players rotating in and out, and look for Rob Klinkenfuss to try to find those receivers down the field.
Okay, so Buena Vista puts its undefeated record on the line right here, 1-0. Team's got a lot of depth. You're going to see a good game here tonight, and you got the best seat in the house. Hope you're cool or you are, because it's hot out here. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. We'll come back with the rest of the pregame show, give you starting lineups. That's coming up next. Stay tuned to Innovation Video Sports.
Math. A 4-letter word, right? Hey, you don't need that.
Why design the world's newest chips?
When you could be flipping the world's oldest burgers. Hey, wait a minute. This is math. geometry, algebra.
No pocket protectors here.
But you're cruising without math. Yeah, right. Take a good look.
That's math staring back at you.
It's not a problem, man. It's an answer. Call NACME. We'll tell you what you need to do.
Back here to Bradford Field once again.
Good afternoon and welcome to another beautiful day and another season of...
And right now, we're going to turn it over to the public address announcer shortly for the starting lineups. Once again, Buena Vista coming in with a 1-0 record. William Penn, 0-1. Buena Vista looking to go 2-0 for the first time. And in Coach Hadachek's tenure here, Buena Vista has not won its season opener since, I believe, the 1989 season. Last time they won the Iowa Conference was 1986. Coach Hadachek, talking to him before the season, said, I think this team's got a legitimate shot to finish second in the nation. Let's talk a little bit about this Iowa Conference. We have 4 teams rated in the preseason rankings, the top 25. Simpson was tabbed #1 by Sports Illustrated. Sunsel's right there in the top 10. We've got Morris at 17 and Wartburg at 23. So in order to win some games in this conference, you got to be a pretty darn good football team.
That's right, Scott. And as we pick up Iowa Conference, 11 teams in there this year. No non-conference schedule. We had some good matchups with Northwestern over the past couple of years, but I guess what we go to now is we look at Cohen Cornell, 2 very good teams. And I guess right now we're going to the PA for the starting lineups.
That's the offense for the Statesmen. On the defensive side of the ball for William Penn, defensive end, number 51, John McElvaney. Defensive tackle, number 97, Josh Walls. The nose tackle, number 90, Jason Matthews. Defensive end, number 95, Frank Yoder. Middle linebacker, number 44, Matt Watson. Linebacker, number 53, Jeremy Morris. Right side linebacker, number 8, Doug Slings. Strong safety, number 1, Ashley Brantley. Right cornerback, number 11, T.T. Orgabison. Left cornerback, number 10, Dion Graves. And the free safety, number 9, Gabriel Washington. The Statesmen are coached by Mick Kaba. Now for your Buena Vista Beavers. With the record at 1-0 overall, starting on offense, tight end will be number 80, Darren Graber. Offensive tackle, number 51, Matt Kincaid. The offensive guard, number 70, Eric Johnson. Center, number 75, Aaron Gillespie. Offensive guard, 66, Brian Miller. Offensive tackle, number 72, Jeff Jacobson. Wide receivers, 21, Troy Salazar.
That's true.
And number 24, Todd Tryon. At fullback for the Beavers will be number 10, John Fick. Halfback is 23, Ryan Grubb. And the quarterback for the Beavers, number 5, Rob Klinkafus. Now for your Beaver defense. At defensive end, 95, Mike Petticore. Defensive tackle, 94, Dan Barkema. Defensive tackle, 77, Mark Smith. Defensive end, 91, John Seal. Linebacker, number 47, John Anderson. Also at linebacker, number 4, Brian Schmidt. And number 9, Kurt Bausted. At safety for the Beavers, number 28, Jeff Brennan. The cornerbacks, number 7, Bart Smith. And number 39, Brian Davis. The safety for the Beavers, number 37, Josh Toot. And that's your Beaver defense. The Beavers are coached by Coach Joe Hadachek.
You can get the parents lining up over here for like, what the heck happened here? My iris all screwed up or what's going on? It's dark.
Would you please rise as the Buena Vista Marching Band performs the national anthem?
What's my shot look like?
Okay, everybody. All right, you just heard the starting lineups, and what we're going to do right now is take a quick break, and we'll be back with a kickoff right after this.
Is to warn threatening bachelor males from other prides to stay away from their young. Here, a lion cub gets a lesson in proper roaring from its father. Teaching this behavior is not just crucial to the pride, but also to the survival of the species. Just a reminder how important it is for fathers to spend time with their children.
Here's my nephew Scruff, about to run into trouble again.
Hey, Bobo, where's your video game? In here. Well, look at this. Uh-oh. It's my dad's. You want to hold it? What'll I do?
You'll see, but that's not the only problem he has.
Hey, here's a shortcut. Not down there, Square. I don't think it's safe. Come on, the coast is clear. I'm not taking a chance, Lance. Oh, no. Well, hello, Dogface. Come to give us your sneakers.
Uh-oh, trouble again, Scruff. What are you gonna do now?
I don't know.
If you get my new comic activity book, More Adventures with Scruff, you'll find out what you can do about bullies, drugs, and guns.
Am I the hero again?
You'll see. And you'll see lots of games.
Cool.
For your free copy of my new comic activity book, write Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. Scruff McGruff, Chicago, Illinois, 60652. And you'll be helping take a bite out of crime.
I want it, I want it.
Simply because they didn't get an HIV test when they were pregnant. You see, there's now treatment that can help stop the spread of HIV from mother to baby, which gives children of HIV-infected mothers something they never had before. A chance. If you're pregnant, please get an HIV test.
We want to see our children succeed. But setting easy goals for our kids creates the toughest obstacle they'll ever face. Because succeeding in the real world isn't easy. Help the effort to raise standards in America's public schools. Call 1-800-96-PROMISE.
My son, Daku, was writing.
Welcome back to Bradford Field. Scott Heinley along with Andrew Peacock. Buena Vista versus William Penn for the home opener here, the 1998 season. Let's talk a little bit about the Upper Iowa victory, Andy. Buena Vista got out right off the get-go on a 52-yard drive. Had no problems moving the ball. John Fick capped it off with a 9-yard touchdown run. Upper Iowa put the clamps on the defense a little bit. They got a 22-yard field goal, made the score 7-3, and then they had a 30-yard touchdown pass to their big time, probably one of the best receivers in that conference by the name of Wesley Bell. At his 30-yard touchdown pass, William Penn went up Upper Iowa went up 10-7. This is still first quarter. Right before the end of the half, Wade McElroy had an interception return, which gave Buena Vista the ball on the Upper Iowa's 25-yard line. They then converted it into a touchdown, 8-yard pass from Clinkfuss to Todd Tryon. Buena Vista up 14-7 at the half. Second half, crazy second half. Big plays, interceptions, fumbles, punt blocks, you name it, it happened. Buena Vista's lone touchdown came right away, the first scoring in the second half on a interception return by Kurt Baustad for 10 yards. Buena Vista was up by a score of 21-7 at that point. Then Upper Iowa added a field goal, making it 21-10. They scored on a 42-yard pass play, which made it. Then they had a field goal, so it's 21-13, 42-yard pass play, and the extra point and the 2-point conversion made it 21-21 all. Late in the fourth quarter now, Buena Vista couldn't get anything going, but they shut down Upper Iowa's offense, so we went into overtime, 21 tied all, and both teams got the ball on the 25-yard line. Jeff Brennan came up with the interception return, and so Buena Vista set up a 37-yard field goal by Carlos Martinez, and that was the game winner. Martinez, the freshman kicker, hit a 37-yard field goal, and Buena Vista won it 24-21 in overtime against Upper Iowa. Right now, we're going to go to Coach Hadchuk's interview. Here's what he has to say.
Hey, all you Beaver football fans. I hope you're enjoying the pregame show of the first home football game that Innovation Video is covering. And right now we have a real treat for you. We have an interview with head coach Joe Hadachuk, and let's just start out. You had a close win in Upper Iowa last weekend in overtime with a freshman Carlos Martinez kick. It was a field goal, I believe, that just set us into the overtime victory. And
it was a great game. You know, from a fan standpoint, it was a great game. I think coaches and the players, we seesawed back and forth. We were really ahead the whole football game in terms of the length of the game, all 4 quarters. But in the fourth quarter, we were really challenged. And when Upper Iowa tied us, and then the game went into overtime, our defense did a great job. Jeff Brennan picked off a pass from Jess Willis, their great quarterback, and allowed our offense to go out and take their turn in terms of their series in the overtime period. And we were able to complete a pass to Tyler Tryon from Rob Klinkfuss, which allowed Carlos Martinez to set up the winning field goal, which was a distance of 37 yards. And a very remarkable accomplishment for a freshman. Mm-hmm. First game, first field goal. He was 3 for 3 in PATs, did a great job on kickoffs. And I might add that Mike Behrens, our freshman punter, also did a superb job punting the ball.
So you've got to be happy with the special teams freshman stepping up. And one notable loss on the special teams from last year is Chase Young, who was, I believe, the #1 kicker in Division III most of the season.
Yes. And Chase just wanted a Division I opportunity, and there's no hard feelings there, but he's chasing it.
All right, Freddie, had to cut out that interview. We're getting ready for a kickoff here. Andy, give us a quick update on the Iowa State game that's going on. I know everybody wants to keep an eye on that as well.
I tell you what, it's really surprising. Last report that I had was at halftime, the Cyclones shocking the Hawkeyes in Iowa City at Kinnick Stadium. That score at halftime was 20-3. The Hawkeyes had some early first half turnovers, and I tell you what, it's going to be riot names if that game keeps going at that pace down there.
I tell you what, if that happens, I want to be there. I'm driving down to Ames tonight. I tell you what, that's going to be one of the most shocking. That'll be the sports story of the year in Iowa, for sure. I think it's 14 years in a row that Iowa's beat Iowa State. Last time Iowa State won was something like 1983. So
McCarney's job's on the line, essentially. He'd probably give a pretty good pregame speech.
All right. Getting ready for the kickoff here. Looks like Buena Vista is going to receive. And right now, Ryan Harder's down in the field, and he's going to give us quick thoughts here.
Taking a look at last year's game when William Penn and BV met, like Scott said, the game was here due to a scheduling quirk, but the temperature down here in Bradford Field was in the low 70s, and winds were coming out of the southwest, very, very high speeds. This year the temperatures are in the 80s down here. There's little wind, so an issue this year is going to be dehydration and heat exhaustion. Last year, BV did win the contest 29-6, but William Penn's quarterback, Adam Caba, was out of action. And so that's going to play a factor in today's game. Back to you, Scott and Andrew.
All right, that was Josh Wigg on the kickoff return. A 52-yard kickoff return brings it all the way down to William Penn territory, and they're going to spot the ball at about the 40-yard line. So right off the bat, great kickoff return, Josh Wigg, 52 yards. Buena Vista has got the ball on the 41-yard line, and just like last week, Beavers looking good off the get-go.
Tell you what, Scott, that was an excellent return up through. You had a nice wall of blockers, busted right through and made it into William Penn territory.
All right, 1st and 10, Beavers set him up. Klinkfist hand off to his tailback, Ryan Grubb, and he goes nowhere. Grubb maybe gain of 1 on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and 9 on the short gain from Grubb. So Klinkfist sets the offense into motion. We'll set the starting lineups for you here after a bit. The lone setback is Ryan Grubb right now. Klinkfist hands off to Grubb. Grubb running around the right side. Through the tackle, he's got some room, and he's fumbled. The ball pops loose, but his knee was down, so they'll blow the play dead and gain of about, we're going to call it 5 yards in the play for Grubb.
Working on the right side of the line. Excellent blocking up front by Miller and Gillespie. 3rd down and 4, Buena Vista on the Statesman 35-yard line.
If you're just joining us, no score here at Bradford Field. Home opener for the Beavers as they play against the William Penn Statesmen. Looking for win number 2 on the season. Klinkfist hands off to Grubb. 3rd straight play, hand off to Grubb. He's got room, 1st down along the right side and inside the 32, about the 27. So first 3 plays of the game so far we've seen Ryan Grubb has been getting the call.
Nothing creative about it, just straightforward smash mouth football. And I'll tell you why they got that 1st down. Eric Johnson threw one heck of a block down there, took his man, gave him a decleater on that one, and Buena Vista 1st down. Fresh set of downs for the Beavers.
Okay, so the chains will move with 13:27 here to go in 1st quarter. Ball on the 28-yard line. Klinkfist now in the shotgun with Grubb and Fick back there. 3 wide outs. Klinkfist rolls out to his left. Looking, now he's going to run with it. He will run with the ball inside the 25 and gets down to about the 23-yard line. And that's something Coach Hadchuk said this team could do with the shotgun. It's not just a passing formation. He'll have both Klinkfist, and later on you'll see John Ivanovich come in as quarterback sometime today. We don't know when, but he will play. And both those quarterbacks will run off the shotgun. That's a new wrinkle. They just installed it this year, and both the quarterbacks feel comfortable with it. So be looking for that.
Again, that probably was not a design run. Klinkfist looked down the field, didn't want to force the ball, so he opted to go to the sideline. Picked up a nice gain, 8 yards on the play.
I just wanted to focus.
2nd down and 2 now. Ball on the 20-yard line after the 8-yard gain. Klinkfist hands off to Zach Mathers, who's now into the ball game. Gets hit, but great second effort by Mathers. Takes it inside the 20 down to about the 16.
Mathers, of course, have hit the injury bug the past couple years, had a few knee problems. It's good to see him back in there. And Coach Hadachek has the luxury of 2 or 3 pretty good running backs back there. So if an injury does pop up, we have someone to come back and replace.
All right, that's 1st down and 10. Ball resting on about the 15-yard line of Upper Iowa. Klinkfist now under the shotgun. Underneath center.
Jesus.
Lone setback is Mathers. Fakes a handoff, now rolling back to pass. He's found a man, but overthrew him. Ball's up in the air, and it's caught for a touchdown. Off the ricochet, Todd Tryon catches it for the touchdown, and the Beavers are on the scoreboard here with 12:46 to go, 1st quarter. Touchdown, Beavers.
I tell you what, Scott, I don't think you can draw off that play. Simulating a volleyball, ball bouncing around. Fortunate it wasn't picked off, and Todd Tryon, fortunate, in the right place at the right time.
Wow, Todd Tryon, heads up play, sticking with the ball, and the Beavers dodging a bullet. Luckily, the ball wasn't intercepted, and they get 6 points out of it, so on to attempt. The PAT freshman kicker Carlos Martinez was the hero of the opening game victory against Upper Iowa with that field goal. And
there is a marker
hits this one through the uprights, so it's 7-0 Buena Vista. As you said, marker down on the play.
Penalty marker, yes.
And initial indication is penalties against William Penn, so Buena Vista once again converts on his first drive of the game. A 42-yard drive capped off by a 15-yard touchdown pass, Klinkfus to Todd Tryon.
I'll tell you what, Scott, if we go back to the freshman kicker, Carlos Martinez, of course, he was a hero last week. I tell you what, he has ice water in his veins. 37 game-winning yard field goal. I was out here before the game watching him warming up, and he was hitting consistent between 35 and 45-yard field goals with a long of 55 with yards to spare. So the kid does have a thundering foot.
Okay, and a little bit of stats here from our stat man, Charlie Plotty. Todd Tryon had a catch for 15 yards, so he's got one reception for 15 yards. And Ryan Grubb, I believe, has 5 carries for 25 yards rushing. And again, the first 3 plays we saw Coach Hatchek set up that run with Ryan Grubb. And appeared to be paying off. Grubb only had about 20-25 yards rushing in that first contest, but you can see that's been a priority in practice all week to get him more rushes. And the kickoff is taken by the deep back. I believe that's Tavar Bakersville for William Penn. Check that number 3, Quinara Arnold, and he's a sophomore wide receiver from Miami, Florida. And he gives the Statesmen field goal position at about their 27-yard line. 1st and 10. William Penn will look to pass the ball early and often. They make no mistake about it. They're going to go to the air here. They have a lone fullback and 3 wide receivers split to the right side. Kaba in shotgun formation right away. Buena Vista with 4 defensive backs here. And he's going deep to number 80. Way overthrows him by quite a bit.
Kaba throwing into double coverage there, nothing there. Saw his man, didn't have any steps on the defense, so he just opted to throw over his head.
And the intended receiver on the play for William Penn was number 80, Lloyd Nolan. Second down and 10, ball on the 27. Once again, shotgun formation. Buena Vista with 8 men on line of scrimmage. Came up back to pass. Once again, he's got Nolan, but he overthrew him again on good coverage. He's there by number 39, Brian Davis.
Kaba going back to this near side again on the left-hand side of the field. Davis, 2 straight plays. Excellent coverage out there, giving up nothing in the secondary.
Brian Davis, the leading returning quarterback from last season, picked off 4 balls, returning for his sophomore season. 3rd down and long. 3rd down and 10 for William Penn. Shotgun formation. Buena Vista 4 men on the line of scrimmage. And we have a flip out pass to Bakersville, and it's going to be short of the 1st down. Buena Vista snuffing it out nicely, Andy.
That's right, Scott. Excellent pursuit. It appeared for a moment that Cable was going to take off on a quarterback draw. He pitched back. The Beavers were not fooled on that modified option play, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
Punting unit will come on for William Penn. William Penn, new punter this year. Is going to be number 28. The rosters. 28, Sophine Sarin. And almost blocked. And William Penn will, there's a flag on the play. Probably going to get roughing the punter here.
I tell you what's going to happen here. They busted through the line, and Wes Jungie did not get a piece of the ball, and he ran into the kicker. It's going to be roughing the kicker. Automatic 1st down for the Statesmen. That's going to be the roughing variety. 15 yards on that one, Scott.
And that is unfortunate because it gives William Penn an automatic 1st down. Coach Hatchek's got to be real upset about that. He just come off scoring a nice touchdown pass, and first drive you stop him, but then you get a stupid mistake like that and gives William Penn another shot at it. That's the thing. Coach stressed mental toughness, but one thing you like with mental toughness, you got to be smart about things. And you don't want to go after and rough the punter. First down 10, ball on the 45-yard line. So William Penn gets a second shot at it. We'll see if they can capitalize. Bakersfield alone. He fumbles at Bakersfield. And luckily to get it back, but making the tackle is Petticord.
Looks like the Beavers had a blitz on there. If he would have made it outside, might have had some open field up there, but he bobbled the ball and he lost about 4 yards on the carry.
It's a loss of 6 on the play. They'll spot the ball at the 38. So second down and 16 here. And William Penn running all sorts of formations here at the Beavers, making the defense work. Defensive coaches had a really stressful week trying to figure out what this team's going to do here. Kaba back to pass. Now looking, finds a man, and he once again overthrows him. So Kaba has been long here on all 3 of his pass attempts here in the first quarter, as the wind is blowing against his back at about 10 miles an hour.
Again, Scott, that's Brian Davis on the left side. That's 3 pass defenses right in a row. They might have to try the other side of the field if they hope to have any success in their passing game this afternoon.
William Penn with 4 wideouts, 3 to the near side here. Third down and 16. Kaba back to the shotgun. Bakersfield is his lone setback. Buena Vista has 6 defensive backs in this play. Kaba throws, and he once again overthrows his target. And once again, he's going for number 80. Lloyd Nolan, the intended receiver, the 6'2 junior out of Riverside, California. All of William Penn's receivers very tall, very big, and very quick. They all run about 6'2", 190 pounds. They can all run, which presents some problems for defensive backs, especially if it's basically a lob pass.
So far, no completions for Kaba.
And William Penn punting from about their 26-yard line. Punt block, and it was Wes Junge there with the block. And it's going to be picked up by Buena Vista. So special teams has been a big emphasis in the preseason for Coach Hadchuk, and right there you can see it paying off. Wes Junge getting the block and redeeming himself after being called for the roughing the punter play. So Wes Junge, nice hustle there. And that's the little things that makes the difference this year that Buena Vista wants to concentrate on. Last year they were upset with their special teams play. This year Coach Hadchuk said if we can get 1 or 2 special teams plays that can really open things up for us and give us some momentum. Okay, Quickfoot's in the shotgun. 2 wideouts to the near side, and Tyler trying in on the far side. Pass is completed to Fick. He's at the 30, spins, 25 still on his feet. Down to the 21-yard line before he's tackled, and the Beavers have another first down.
The steam train's coming, John Fick. Little swing pattern out here to the near side, puts his head down, a few spin moves, and looking there. 1st and 10, Buena Vista, and we're marching down the field.
That's the first time we've called John Fick's number this evening. 10:35 to go, first quarter. Buena Vista up 7-0 here at Bradford Field on a beautiful day in Storm Lake. Klinkfuss underneath center. Hands off to Ryan Grubb. Ryan Grubb hit at the point of attack and gets back to about the line of scrimmage.
Credit John McElvaney there, tossing his defender aside and slipping through for the tackle. Junior linebacker out of Reno, Nevada.
Brett Mackey and Darren Graber now in there, along with Tyler Tryon. Mackey on the far left side. Tryon here on the near side, split wide. Fick is a fullback. Fake handoff to Grubb. Klinkfuss rolling to his right, completed to Graber, and Graber's got the ball inside the 10, and the Beavers have got it 1st and goal at about the 8-yard line. Klinkfuss rolling to his right and finding his tight end, Darren Graber.
Graber nearly had to struggle to hang on, but he didn't hang on for the catch there. I'll tell you what, in the Buena Vista running game sets up that pass game. They give a little fake, and it freezes the safeties as well as the linebackers, and that's what you get. 1st and goal, Buena Vista.
Tell you what, right there, that's Buena Vista's bread and butter play. Klinkfuss rolling out, and the tight end is going to be a real strong point this year for Buena Vista. They got 2 good tight ends with Graber and then bringing in Dave Jesse off the bench. Your lone setback is Ryan Grubb. Tryon and Mackey split wide. Klinkfuss hands off to Grubb along the left side, finds some running room, and he's going to be real close. Gets down to about the 1 yard line. Ryan Grubb really attacking the holes today.
Very instinctive running there. He started off left, saw it was plugged up, cut back inside, dove right up the middle, and he's at about the 1 yard line here. See if the Beavers can punch it in to go up by 2 scores.
John Fick checking in, clock ticking at 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Beavers up 7-0 and knocking on the door as the ball rests on the William Penn 1 yard line. Second down. Tyler Tryon is split wide. Klinkfuss hands off to Grubb, touchdown Buena Vista. Grubb right over the top, and Buena Vista converts on its first 2 drives of the game. 13-0 Beavers. Well, that time was a simple smash mouth football, Andy. Just hand off to Grubb, and he knew what to do, go right over the top with it.
That's right, and we got to give credit where credit is due here, Scott. That offensive line, they're going to be the big part of this ball game. Kincaid, Matt Kincaid, Eric Johnson, Aaron Gillespie, and many others switching in that line all day. Buena Vista 13-0.
Okay, and on to attempt at PAT is Carlos Martinez to make it 14-0, and it's a fake. Ivanovich rolls out and throws. 2-point conversion. And let's see who caught it for Beavers. Mike Menke, the sophomore fullback from Clear Lake, Iowa, comes out of the backfield to catch that. So Buena Vista pulling out all the stops here and up 15-0.
Wow, a little bag of tricks there. That was designed all the way. Had a good snap. The holder just got up and fired to make it the end zone for the score. 15-0, and we're cooking, Scott.
All right, and a packed house here at J. Leslie Rollins Stadium. As you can see, cheerleaders getting into it. Student sections up, and right there, push-ups. I asked some of the cheerleaders today if they're going to do push-ups for how many points we scored, and they're like, well, I guess we're going to have to start practicing, and there they go.
Well, I tell you what, I like my job up here. That looks a little difficult. Male cheerleaders doing the push-ups for points here. Come on, guys, 15 for you.
Okay, stats here from our stat man, Mr. Plotty, and Klinkfuss is 3 for 3 and 46 yards passing with a touchdown. And everybody is clicking on all cylinders today for Buena Vista. Martinez to kick off. 2 people back deep to receive for William Penn. And it's going to go to number 3, Quadrell Arnold. And Arnold takes it to about the 19-yard line. And William Penn down 2 touchdowns here, down 15-0. Of course, that doesn't matter to them. They're going to throw the ball no matter what. Coach Hadtek told me earlier in the week, I talked to him, he said, listen, this team can come back from any deficit because they're designed to throw the ball. He said they're not going to change their game plan any if they do.
Exactly right. What we need to do is get defensive pressure. And so far, so good in the secondary. Excellent coverage, not going for the moves, and Caba hasn't been able to find any open receivers.
Caba with 2 tailbacks there to block for him. And 2 receivers split to his right, 1 to his left. The snap is a handoff to Bakersfield. Tavar Bakersfield is hit and dropped by the defensive line. That's number 91, John Seal. John Seal, the defensive end, making a big hit. And after the big play by John Seal, we're going to go take it downstairs to Ryan Harder for a quick field report. Ryan. Okay, we'll keep you here before we go back to Ryan. 7:57 to go, first quarter, BB up 15-0. Now under center is Caba, and the ball is tipped, but it is caught by the receiver, number 80, Lloyd Nolan, and dropped immediately by Brian Davis.
First completion for Caba. They said, to heck with these fly patterns and deep post routes. We're going to run the slant pattern. Ran up the field about 4 yards, cut inside, but Davis is right there for the tackle.
And Caba has been singling out Lloyd Nolan. I believe he's had through his way 5 or 6 times already this afternoon. Nolan's matched up with Brian Davis, BB's best corner man. Buena Vista shows blitz, and pass is completed. And nice stop by Davis there to save a big gainer. as William Penn hits their first down of the game to about the 33-yard line.
Scott, same play again. It's just that simple slant pattern. What Buena Vista's defensive coaches are going to have to tell them, they're going to have to tighten up the coverage, tighten up that cushion a little bit, get up right on the line of scrimmage and play some bump and run to take away that slant pattern.
First down and 10, ball on the 32-yard line. Referee set the clock in motion. Buena Vista once again now 7 defensive backs for BV. Just 4 men on the line, but it is a good defensive line. Caba back to pass, going up top for Nolan, and Davis once again, great coverage right there, step for step with him, Andy.
I tell you what.
All right, now we're gonna go back downstairs to Ryan Harder. Ryan.
Scott and Andrew, obviously a great way to start off any Saturday afternoon. 2 straight touchdowns by the Beavers on both of their possessions. Coach Hadachek obviously doesn't want to get the team too confident in themselves, too cocky, if you will. He said, wait until you get wait till you score on 3 straight possessions, and then maybe we'll start to celebrate. He congratulated his team on the great job they've been doing so far, both offensively and defensively. And all in all, just a great way to start off this first half. Back to you.
Okay, Caba roll out down to his right there and tried to hit Cornell Arnold, but Arnold couldn't quite hold on to it. Pass a little bit underthrown that time.
Mike Petticord gave chase over there, put a little pressure in, the 6'2" junior out of Keystone, Iowa, improving player. That brings up a 3rd down and 10 from the Statesman 32-yard line.
Buena Vista defense doing a great job here on pass coverage. They've been looking at tapes all week, knowing that William Penn would pass. Caba in the shotgun. 3 receivers split to his right side. Caba looking to his right, over the middle, throws, pass complete to Arnold, and he's brought down on the coverage that time for Buena Vista, number 15, the freshman Andy Hodges.
Got to give credit to that line. They picked up the blitz. Bremer and Ballstead are blitzing inside. It was picked up, gave Caba plenty of time. Nearly a pass interference call, but the pass is completed and a fresh to down for William Penn. And
Andy Hodges, a freshman from Des Moines North, seeing some time at cornerback. As we mentioned, this team is very deep. Andy Hodges, one of 3 freshmen on the roster this year for Buena Vista, on the varsity roster, I should say. Caba this time underneath center. Rolling out to his right, and he's looking to pass once again. Looking for a crossing pattern over the middle. He's got a man open, but just overthrew number 17, Ryan Duffy. Ryan Duffy was breaking over the middle. Once again, 2 blue shirts there on the coverage.
Brian Davis and Jeff Brennan back there have a tough duty back there. We're going to have to be substituting a lot, and I'm sure that Heat will get to him in the secondary. But so far, so good. Good job back there containing the Statesman run-and-shoot style of offense, Scott.
Second down at 10, ball on the 45-yard line. 6:21 to go, first quarter. Beavis up 15-0. Caba hands off to Bakersfield. Tavar Bakersfield takes the ball right up the middle.
Big collision in the middle. Number 37 for Buena Vista, Josh Tooth, the junior. Out of Danbury, Iowa, smashing heads. The Statesman running back, way to fill the hole. 5-yard gain, 3rd and 5 from midfield for William Penn.
Key play here for the William Penn offense if they want to get back into it. Ball resting on midfield. 3 receivers split to the right side. Caba in the shotgun. Beavers. Nice protection by William Penn. Now the pocket collapses. He's got Arnold wide open over the middle. First down and more for William Penn. As they get the ball down to the 26-yard line. Caba hitting Arnold. Arnold is wide open down the middle.
Now I'll tell you what happened here. The secondary searched back. They thought the quarterback was going to be sacked back there. They gave up on their pass protection. The receiver came back, caught the ball wide open in the middle of the field. Big gainer. That's what William Penn needs for some confidence moving down the field.
Beavers switching their defense up right now in there. Number 8, Kurt Bremer, who had 1.5 sacks yesterday. Bart Smith also in there at cornerback right now. Shotgun for Caba. Rolling out to his right slightly. Pocket collapses. He's hit, and it's intercepted by Bart Smith. Intercepted at about the 10-yard line. And Smith runs it back. to about the 14. Great anticipation. Smith just sitting back there in his cornerback spot, stepped right in front of the ball. And Buena Vista has its third big play of the game here, really, Andy.
I'll tell you what, there's your freshman you were talking about early. The ball was severely underthrown by Caba. Had a man back there, could have been a big gainer. And Smith, reading the quarterback's eye, seeing where the arm's going, stepped right in there and comes up with a big interception and the turnover to the Beavers.
So William Penn was mounting a nice drive at that time. As we look at the quarterback comparison, Rob Klinkvist 3 for 3, 46 yards and a touchdown. And Caba for William Penn, 4 of 12 for 48 yards and 1 interception. So Klinkvist winning that battle. And Klinkvist, they're going to blow the play dead, and Rob is not happy.
He was not down.
And on the tackle for William Penn, number 8, Doug Slings from his right linebacker spot, coming up to make the sack. So it's going to be second and long for BB, but I tell you what, Andy, last weekend I had a chance to be in Fayette for the game. Klinkvist has a remarkable ability to scramble out of the pocket, and this might be a different refereeing crew. They haven't seen Klinkvist play before, but on the 8-yard pass, the touchdown pass right before halftime last week, Klinkvist broke about 3 tackles, rolled out to his right, came back to his left. The play lasted about 10 seconds, and he hit Todd Tryon in the end zone for a touchdown. So he has that ability to make the plays. And the handoff goes to Zach Mathers. Mathers along the right side. Not much doing, as William Penn doing a good job of stringing out the pursuit.
That's right, and go back to Klinkvist. That's an asset you can't teach as a coach. A knack for knowing where to go, mobility, and speed you cannot teach. And after that run by Mathers is going to bring up third down play for Buena Vista.
Buena Vista switching off between Mathers and Grubb at tailback. Vick is your fullback. Split wide for Buena Vista, both the Tryon brothers. Todd out to the left side, Tyler here to the near side. Lone setback is Ryan Grubb. Klinkvist in the shotgun. Dropping back to his own end zone to pass this one. Over the middle and nearly picked off that time by William Penn. Number 9, Gabriel Washington on the coverage. And Klinkvist going for Tyler Tryon over the middle.
That's right, Tyler Tryon running about a 10-yard square end. Robbie fired the ball just a tad short. A little bit more arm on that, and Buena Vista went on a first down, but nonetheless, we're forced to punt.
And this is the first time this afternoon the punting unit has come on for Buena Vista. Honors this year for Buena Vista is Mike Behrens, a freshman from Carroll, Iowa. Behrens very impressive in his debut. Expect Buena Vista just to kick it here back in their own end zone. They wouldn't expect to see any trickery. Back deep to receive is Arnold for William Penn. And the ball is going to go to Arnold. He takes it about the 45. He's got some room, rolls out to his right. Arnold trying to get something doing, but dropped immediately there by John Seal on the coverage.
John Seal playing a heck of a game so far. Didn't go for those little moves there, but the speedy scat back. William Penn in Buena Vista territory.
3:35 to go first quarter. Buena Vista up 15-0. It's been all Buena Vista here in this first quarter. A 15-yard touchdown pass from Klinkvist to Tryon with 12:46 to go made it 7-0 Buena Vista. And Ryan Grubb had a 1-yard touchdown plunge. And Ivanovich passed it to Menke for the 2-point conversion. So that's where we stand right now, 15-0 Buena Vista. As Caba once again in the shotgun, and it's basically pass all the time here for William Penn. We had some movement on the line, flags all over the place, and the snap was fumbled as well. So we'll have to sort things out here.
They'll flag the center for that one. Falsely simulating a snap. Loss of 5 yards. Bring up a first down to the 15 after the call here.
Gonna step it off offsides against Buena Vista. It was over on the right side. I want to say may have been Mike Petticord who jumped there.
Kind of a questionable call here to the center as he was twitching the ball, trying to draw the defense offside. Did a good job of it and fooled the officials as well.
Check that, I believe that was Kurt Bremer on the offsides there from his defensive end position in there for Petticord right now. First down and 5 for William Penn. Handoff goes to their fullback, and he's close to the first down. It's number 43, Sean Blunt.
Tell you what, he looks like Mike Allstott's twin brother. That's a big load back there in the backfield for William Penn.
All right, once again, we have a field report downstairs. We're going to take it to Ryan Harder. Ryan.
Hi, I'm down here on the track, down here on the field with Buford Beaver. Buford, what do you think of the game today? Wow, did you see that first touchdown? Wasn't that amazing? Oh, and how do you think Buena Vista is going to do today? Well, Buford, please, this is a family program. But we're going to go back to you, Scott and Andrew. Thanks, Buford, for joining us down here on the field. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. William Penn gets a big break there as 3 defensive backs collide on a receiver, and the ball was picked up off the tip pass by number 80, Lloyd Nolan, coming up the reception. We're going to call probably about a 25-yard reception here after we get the spot. But in any case, it's going to give William Penn the ball. First down and 10, ball on the 11-yard line. So William Penn knocking on the door here for the second time today. The first time they were deep into Buena Vista territory, Bart Smith came up with a huge interception. So we'll see if the BB defense can come up with a big play here, but looks like somebody jumped once again.
The field tightens up when you get inside that red zone in the 20-yard line. Both lines very anxious to get going. False start. And William Penn, they're going to lose 5 yards.
So this time William Penn gets backed up. Statesman right now just 5 rushes for 5 yards. So they are not looking to run the ball, and when they do, Buena Vista is doing a good job at shutting it down here. Caba underneath center, first down, 15, ball resting on the 16-yard line of Buena Vista. Hand off to Bakersfield. Pitch is on the left side, nicely strung out there on the tackle, number 37, safety Josh Twait. And also there as well was Dan Barkema.
Credit Twait with like a one-arm tackle over there, strung it out nicely, as you said, Scott, fighting off his man, shedding the block and forcing the halfback out of bounds.
I'll bring up second down and 17 on the 1-yard loss. 2 minutes, 8 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. BB up 15-0. Caba in the shotgun. Expect nothing but a pass here. And he's going to Lloyd, and nice coverage on the play. Brian Davis right there, step for step. As Caba once again going for his favorite target, Lloyd Nolan.
Davis is a man out of the gun today. He's out there guarding Lloyd Nolan. You know Caba's going to go to him over there. He's caught 2 balls over there, but he's gone to him about 10 times. He's about 2 out of 10. I think we'll take those percentages.
That's right. This Buena Vista defense ranked 5th in the Iowa Conference last year, allowing 329 yards a game. 39th in the nation in rushing defense, but that stat's not going to come into play today because William Penn just does not run the ball. Only 5 carries so far here in the first quarter. Caba looking in the end zone now, rolls out to his right, and Barkema is there for the big sack. And we'll see if we don't get a flag here for intentional grounding. But the ball was thrown before the sack. But Dan Barkema was breathing down the neck of Michael Caba. William Penn, they're lucky not to get a flag, and they're going to be able to bring their field goal unit on to attempt a long field goal here.
As Baskerville was in the vicinity, it's about a 10-yard radius once the quarterback's out of the pocket, escaping the intentional grounding call.
It'll be a 35-yard field goal attempt for William Penn. Kick is on the way, and it is no good, wide to the right. Kick is no good. And Buena Vista remains on top 15-0. Alan Bays, the freshman kicker from Tucson, Arizona, wide to the right on the kick.
Hey, Slings is number 8.
Buena Vista will take over the ball on their own 20-yard line. Darren Graber's your tight end. Tyler Tryon, the lone wide out to the near side. Zach Mathers in there at halfback. Klingler, hand off to Mathers. Mathers right up the middle for a gain of a couple.
Scott will probably see what we've seen in the first quarter, kind of a running back by committee. Rubb, Mathers alternating, depending on the down and distance and formations.
Way to get off the ball, O-line!
1:31 here to go in the first quarter. Beavers up once again, 15-0. Second down and 7. Ball on their own 23-yard line. Scott Heinley along with Andrew Peacock. Glad to have you with us here for the home opener. Buena Vista looking to go 2-0 for the first time in several years. Coming off a disappointing season last year, but this year they vowed to correct their mistakes. Hand off to Mathers. He's got a huge hole. First down and then some. 40, 45. Mathers up to midfield. Zach Mathers along the left side. Got a huge hole. Give credit to the offensive line. Darren Graber, Jeff Jacobson, Brian Miller right there, creating a huge gap.
Scott, I'm just glad to see Zach Mathers back right now. As you said last year, he's been kind of bitten by the injury bug. It's glad to see him get out there, give him about a 25-yard gain near midfield. Rest of the downs for the Beavers.
We don't get all screwed up here. Watch the
26-yard gain that time by Zach Mathers on the carry. Ball on their own 49-yard line, 1st and 10. 1:06 to go before the end of the quarter, and a quarter that has been dominated by the Beavers. Klinkfuss hand off to Grubb. Grubb gets a couple yards right up the middle. Check that in there at running back right now for Buena Vista, number 32, Troy Hendrick. Troy Hendrick and tailback. And the Beavers will rotate 6 guys in there. Wes Bohonic will also see time. Zach Mathers, Brian Grubb, John Fick.
Coach Hadishek going to want to get a look at a lot of different players in there. And you'll see more as the lead, if and when the lead increases.
Klinkfuss hands it off to Mathers, and Mathers steps out of bounds as he continues running, but Beaver running, they've got their running game going right now. Everything's working for them.
I tell you what, can't talk enough about the offensive line, especially that left side. Mathers likes that left side. What we're going to see next is probably some play action and try to get another score.
Zach Mathers on the carry at 17 yards. He's got 43 yards this drive. 54 yards for the game and rushing for Zach Mathers. As we're getting the stats coming in here. Klinkfuss fakes a handoff, rolling to his left. He's going to run with it. Klinkfuss, he's got a first down inside the 15, down to the 10-yard line. Rob Klinkfuss showing his speed, getting to the outside, picking up some yardage.
And I tell you what, it appeared to be a running play to the right. Kincaid and Miller pulled out to the right side, a little quarterback waggle. Klinkfuss reverses field and found a lot of open territory on that left-hand side, moves up the field.
Beavers once again knocking on the door. 22 seconds to go, first quarter. Trying to add to their 15-0 lead. On a beautiful day here at Storm Lake. Game time temperatures in the 80s and wind, slight breeze out of the south. A little bit hot down there on the field, but it's been a beautiful day for a ball game. And I'm sure William Penn wishes they were anywhere else right now because they have had it tough going of it so far this afternoon.
Well, Scott, it looks like we might have got must have been a penalty down there. The refs are marching off some yards in the wrong direction.
For the Beavers at the 27-yard line of William Penn.
So it's first down and 7 for Buena Vista after the flag. Ball on the 27-yard line. Klinkfuss in the shotgun. Klinkfuss, flag on the play, so it might be a free play here. We'll have to see. Ball almost picked off.
I tell you, who are going to get on this. Sorry, excuse me, Scott.
Deion Graves almost picked it off, Andy.
They're going to flag Tyler Tryon. Motion over there on the far left side. A little bit anxious. He's going to run a post pattern in the end zone.
Once again, flag goes against Buena Vista. Illegal procedure.
Marks up 5 yards.
Beavers going the wrong direction here after a couple of big runs by Zach Mathers. Zach's got 43 yards in this drive alone.
Here it is, baby.
Beavers have had 2 good runs by Mathers, totaling 43 yards. Rob Klinkfuss just had a first down run moments ago. And here's Zach Mathers running around the right side, got some room, and gets inside the 25 to the 24 before being dropped by number 55. Matt Key on the stop for William Penn off the bench. That's going to be the end of the first quarter here at Bradford Field. It's been all Buena Vista. Beavers lead it 15-0. Stick around, we'll be back right after this.
Daku was riding a motorcycle when he was struck by a car. I had spoken to him previously about donating his organs, and it made it so much easier for me to make the decision. I knew that this is something that he wanted. I didn't have to feel guilty about making the decision, doing something that he may not have wanted. Every day I tell people, talk it over. You must let people know what you want.
Do you think you have the power to change the world?
I can change the world one child at a time.
I know I can make a difference in those children's lives.
I teach.
I teach.
Yes, they're teachers, but to the kids they reach, they're heroes.
I teach.
Do you have the power to wake up young minds, to be someone's hero? Teach, to make an impact on our future. Call 1-800-45-TEACH. Be a teacher. Be a hero.
Welcome back to second quarter action here at Bradford Field. Buena Vista up 15-0 on a couple touchdowns, and back to live action now. Rob Klinkfuss in the shotgun. Second down at 5. Handoff goes to Zach Mathers, and Zach really close to the first down at about the 20-yard line.
I tell you what, a lot of tough running by Zach up there today. Good to see him back, as we said earlier. Offensive line, can't say enough. We keep going back to that point, but that's where all it starts. Assigned to man, blowing them. It's a battle at the line of scrimmage, opening up some big holes.
So bring up first down and 10 for Buena Vista. As second quarter just underway. BB looking to score for the third time this afternoon. So far for Buena Vista, 3 drives, 2 touchdowns, and a punt. Klinkfuss in the shotgun once again, and they're utilizing that shotgun quite a bit this afternoon. And he's going to run with it. Rob Klinkfuss now he throws, and right before he crossed the line of scrimmage, he decided to throw, and pass was broken up nicely by William Penn defensive backs.
Well, I tell you what, it looked like he had some real estate out there. Pass routes broke off. Klinkfuss acted like he wanted to run up the left-hand sideline, decided not to flip the ball. It was deflected away by William Penn defenders.
And flag down on the play. We'll sort that out. An update from Iowa City.
Over here.
Huge game down in Iowa City. The interstate rivalry. Iowa State is up 27-9 in that game, now moving on into the third quarter. So Iowa State in the process of pulling off a huge upset. I believe the Hawkeyes were 28-point favorites heading into this one. It'll be the first time in 15 years that Iowa State has beaten Iowa, if they do indeed hold on to this 18-point lead they have in the third quarter. So we'll try to keep you abreast of that, and you can keep watching this one. And this is a good one to watch. 15-0 BV. First down and 25 for the Beavers. Klink underneath center. Hands it off to Zach Mathers. Zach Mathers along the left side, and he's hit immediately by number 51, John McElvaney, on the defensive line for the Statesmen. Now, keep in mind, Buena Vista does have the wind to its back here in this quarter, although it is a slight breeze. If there's a chance for a long field goal attempt, Buena Vista certainly is going to try to do that. All comes down to strategy here. And Klinkfuss in the shotgun here, second down at 21. Got 2 receivers to his left side. He throws to Josh Wigg, nearly picked off on the coverage there for William Penn. Number 40, the defensive back, Peter Paris, almost came up with an interception. Right now we're going to take it downstairs to Ryan Harder, who's got another field report for us.
We all know the expression, know thine enemy. And we might not necessarily call William Penn our enemy, but they are our opponent in today's game, so it might be good to know some things about them, and I did the research. William Penn College was founded by some Quaker pioneers in 1873 in Oskaloosa, Iowa. Now, Quakers like to call themselves Friends with a capital F, so it was founded to establish a higher education with proper Quaker values. Now, when the college was first founded, some students gave lambs and cows as their tuition, practice which was largely negated by federal student aid regulations many years later. Now, William Penn is located in Oskaloosa. They were officially named William Penn in 1933, and in 1916, a lot of their campus burned down, proving my theory that every college must have something burned down in its history. Back to you, Scott and Andrew.
Yes, indeed, Ryan Hunter, always with a unique perspective on things. And right now, on to attempt a field goal for Buena Vista, Carlos Martinez, and it would be a 46-yard field goal attempt, and it's blocked. Blocked. And William Penn jumps on it at the 1-yard line. So blocked attempt. Martinez didn't get enough height on it, Andy.
That's exactly right, Scott. And when you're going for those long field goals, you have to keep the ball low. The trajectory has to be low because you're kicking it much harder as opposed to the shorter field goals where you can boom them up high. Martinez has plenty of leg, just a little bit low, and it's blocked.
Well, I tell you what, Buena Vista just lucky to try the field goal attempt there after 2 straight Rob Klinkfus passes. Should have been picked off. In all reality, Peter Paris had the ball pop right through his numbers, and then, well, Ryan was given his field report. Number 10, Dion Graves, stepped right in front of one, and I think he was running before he even caught the ball, and he just dropped out of his hands. So William Penn, their defensive backs, making plays, but not holding onto the ball, and they missed a couple of golden opportunities for interceptions that time.
Come on, D-line, come off the ball.
So William Penn will have it first down and 10, ball on their 2-yard line. So a chance here for the Beaver defense to make some big plays. Underneath the shotgun is Caba, and he's going to take it himself.
Nice job, team.
He didn't get much around the left side. Making the tackle for Buena Vista, Petticord and Smith. No gain on the play. I'll bring up second down and 10. Buena Vista got on the scoreboard first with a 15-yard touchdown pass. Rob Klinkfus to Tyler Tryon. The game was only about 2.5 minutes old. Then Ryan Grubb plunged over from 1 yard, put Buena Vista up 13-0, and a two-point conversion. Ivanovich to Menke put the Beavers up 15-0. That's where we stand now, as Caba has to get rid of it. Nearly sacked in his own end zone. Buena Vista bringing the heat. It was Petticord, Seal. Petticord and Seal down there. Petticord just about came up with safety.
I tell you what, Scott, not a lot of real estate to be working with backs against the wall. Ball on the 2-yard line. Look for William Penn to try to bust one up the middle on a running play. Then you're going to have to get some breathing room to get a punt away back there.
That's exactly right. Third down and 10 here. 12:46 to go before the half.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Well, that was him, not me.
William Penn, on his first 4 possessions, has had a punt, a blocked punt, an interception, and another punt. And the pass is overthrown, and they also missed a field goal attempt too on their last possession.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see how they attack this punting formation here. Their punter's going to be backed up. He's going to have to watch that white line in the back of the end zone. If he steps on that, that would be a safety. Look for Buena Vista to bring some serious pressure on this punt.
Fourth down and 10, and you're right, this is another chance for special teams play to make a huge play here. And Coach Hatchek said, we're not going to try for punt returns this year, we're just going for punt blocks. And it is almost blocked. Back deep to return is Jeff Brennan, but he's going to let it go out of bounds. And the Beavers will get great field goal position out of this.
That's a very poor kick, only about a 25-yard punt. Credit William Penn. They did get the ball away. Again, 25-yard punt out there. That's exactly what Coach Cada wants out of his special teams.
Tell you what, Buena Vista passing defense doing a job here as Michael Caba, the highly touted quarterback, the coach's son. That quarterback just 5 for 16 and 75 yards. Those 5 completions going for big yardage, but Buena Vista doing a good job. Completion percentage only about 33% for Caba. So give credit to the defensive line for putting the heat on and the cornerbacks for keeping with the receivers. Beavers got the ball, 1st and 10, 22-yard line. Excellent field goal position. Handoff to Grubb along the right side. He's got some room, and William Penn does a nice job of cutting off the corner there. Tackle made by number 53 and number 51, John McElvoy.
That's the innovation video. We gotta get Fry over here to gap for him.
Checking into the game, Dave Jesse placing Todd Tryon. It's great to have you with us here if you're watching on Innovation Video on campus or around Storm Lake. Scott Heinley along with Andrew Peacock. 2nd down and 8 here for the Beavers. Klinkfuss fakes the handoff, rolls off to his right, dumps it off to Dave Jesse. He's got the 1st down and ball right around the 10-yard line. Well-designed play for Buena Vista.
Exactly right, Scott. The pros use that one a lot. It's kind of a little bit of a waggle. Klinkenfuss held the ball on his hip, turned around, found Jesse, and on about a 5-yard square out pattern, and it's a 1st down for the Beavers.
Zach Mathers in at tailback, replacing Dave Jesse. And there we are, up in our perch here, as you can see my mom right in front of us.
Jane Heinley, right?
Yes.
Made the trip from Humboldt.
Tyler Tron, the Loans wide receiver, split way out to the left side. Klinkfuss hands off to Mathers. Mathers along the right side, and the flags are out. I believe that's going to be a penalty against Buena Vista. It's either a face mask or illegal hold.
Might be both. We'll have to wait and see what the zebras say.
What's Jill? Tell Jill and those guys to handle it. They're down there right now.
Illegal indication is that it's against Buena Vista. And it will be holding, which will move the ball back. And we've seen the Beaver, a lot of flags here for Buena Vista, Andy. Maybe not what Coach Hadchuk wants. That leads to aggressive play, but it also backs you up, and especially when you got the ball in the red zone, you can't afford those penalties.
That's right, 6 for 60 yards. If there's one thing Coach Hadachek will pick at in film sessions following the post game, will be those penalties. 6 for 60 yards already.
That's
my
right.
That's a lot of yards.
So I had to have it on the ground. So I was sitting like trying to look at the monitor and like do the camera.
11:58.
And my back just started killing.
Angie's what?
What?
1st and 20, ball on the 20-yard line. Klinkfuss passing in the end zone to Tyler Tryon. He's open, but Klink just overthrew him by a couple steps.
See, that's where you come in.
Tyler Tryon had his cornerback beat.
That was a bread and butter play last year. Klinkenfuss throwing the fade route to Tyler Tryon. Overshot him by a couple yards there. We'll probably see that play a lot this year.
Like I'm going on.
So 2nd down and long for Buena Vista. Ball on the 20.
Yeah, that'll be better for you.
Nice to see the Beavers being aggressive, going for more. Grubb and Fick in the backfield. Handoff goes to Grubb. A delayed handoff around the right side. And he's still on his feet, out of bounds, inside the 15-yard line.
First team Iowa Conference last year, Matt Kincaid, number 51. It's on a crushing block that allowed Grubb to get up the sidelines and allow him to get a decent gain there. Kincaid, arguably, probably the anchor of the offensive line, Scott.
One of the 4 senior co-captains on this team. Ryan Grubb, Mark Smith, Aaron Gillespie, and Matt Kincaid are the 4 senior co-captains this season for Coach Hadachek, as voted by the players in the offseason. It's 3rd down and 10 for Buena Vista. Ball on the 10-yard line. Klinkfuss in the shotgun.
Keep watching me. Here we go.
To his left. Now scrambles. He's got to get rid of it. Klinkfuss completes it to his tight end, Darren Graver. Graver right down inside the 5-yard line to about the 2. Great job by Rob Klinkfuss, not panicking, staying in the pocket, floating outside at the last second, and finding his tight end.
We go back to that scrambling ability. Surveying the field, looked off his first 2 receivers. Graver probably the third receiver, not even close to the primary receiver. Finally found him right near the 4th and 1 on the one. Let's see what they do here.
All right, 4th down and 1. Ball resting on the 1-yard line of William Penn. Fans on their feet. Players telling the crowd to make some noise here. Buena Vista looking to add to the 15-0 lead. 4th down. Klinkfuss underneath center. Fick and Grubb in the backfield. Handoff goes to Grubb over the top, and he fumbles. Ball goes out of the end zone, and William Penn will get a touchback on the 20-yard line. Ball popped loose, and Grubb couldn't hold on.
Well, now they're arguing if the ball crossed the plane, it's dead, and it would be a touchdown. If that ball crossed the plane, that would be a touchdown.
No, now the Buena Vista was arguing that, but officials say no, the ball was not over the plane of the goal line. So William Penn will recover, get the ball on the 20-yard line, 1st and 10.
Very close, an unfortunate call there as a Grubb went up and over. I couldn't see if someone got a hat on that ball or he just lost control, slipped out of his hands, maybe.
I think when you dive over a top like that, you kind of stick the ball out, wanting the ball to go over the nose of the goal line. And when that happens, it gives a chance for the defense to get their hands in there. Heads up play by William Penn.
Let's go, boys!
Knocking it loose.
That's right. Once you leave your feet, you're very prone.
Arnold, Duffy, and Nolan in there at wide receivers for William Penn. And they go to Nolan. Nolan's got it, makes a nice grab for a 1st down for William Penn. Close to midfield. That time just a straight out pattern, and Kaba threw it up for grabs, and Nolan's got a little height advantage on Davis. He made a nice grab.
I'll tell you what, that's the only play we're going to pick on Davis. The only thing he didn't do right on that play, he was step for step, but he failed to turn around and see the ball. You got to see the ball in the secondary once it leaves the quarterback's hands.
Now they put Tavares Bakersfield in the backfield, or excuse me, as a wideout. So it's Duffy, Arnold, Bakersfield, split to the near side. And Kaba nearly sacked, breaks loose. Now rolling out to the near side, trying to find somebody. Great pursuit by the Beavers. And the ball is it caught? Somebody, nice catch. Yes, they're going to call the catch. Marty Duffy making a great play as the coverage was right there by number 37, Josh Twait.
Give him credit back there, junior defensive end Mike Petticord nearly had Kaba back there. Kaba scrambling out of the pocket, finding his man on the sidelines.
Okay, and we now have a final from Iowa City. Iowa State pulls off the shocker for the first time in 15 seasons. The Cyclones have defeated the Hawkeyes. The final score 27-9 from Iowa City. That score just in as a final.
I think I'm going to be sick now.
Iowa State, and there's going to be a huge party names tonight. Holy cow. As Kaba back to pass, overthrows his target, Duffy. Marty Duffy, who just moments ago made a nice grab for a William Penn 1st down right here in front of us on the sidelines. And that time, Kaba going back to him, the man with the hot hand, and just overthrew him.
He's got to be up and around about 25 pass attempts right now.
I don't know.
Pass run about 70-30 here.
2nd down and 10, ball on the 33-yard line. 10 minutes, 10 seconds remaining before the half. Beavers up 15-0. Kaba, and he might have drawn the Beavers offside, but the Beavers are pointing toward the William Penn offensive line, and it is going to be movement on the Statesman offensive line.
False start down there. Offensive line getting a little nervous, quite possibly seeing a blitz coming on. Pulled out of their stance just a tad early.
Well, back, William Penn up to the 38-yard line. Duffy, Arnold, and Sean Blunt split wide to the left, and Lloyd Nolan here on the near side. And it's a quick out pattern. It's going to be some trickery play here. Kaba gets it back. And Beavers have got it figured out here as Kaba gets the pass from Arnold. Kaba just threw a quick out to Arnold. Actually, it was a lateral. If it would have been dropped, it would have been a fumble.
That's right, Scott. It appeared to be a wide receiver screen off the bat, but again, it's made reference. A lot of college football coaches put that in their play, but quarterback goes to the other side of the field and becomes an eligible receiver.
But Buena Vista was not caught sleeping on that play. A loss of 5 on the play, so I'll bring up 3rd down and 15. Ball on the 38. Kaba in the shotgun now with 3 receivers to the left. Rolling to his left, looking, throws, and it's going to be picked off by Jeff Brennan. Jeff Brennan picks it off. The 2nd interception of the game. Beaver, first down on their own 15-yard line.
And what can you say about that Beaver defense? Caba reading the play a little bit wrong, threw into triple coverage back there. Luckily, Davis didn't knock the ball away from Brennan. There's a lot of blue jerseys back there attempting to pick that pass off.
Second interception of the game. And the Beavers have it 1st and 10 on their own 14-yard line with 9:18 to go before the half. Bart Smith also came up with a big interception in the first quarter. So Michael Caba having a rough day as the Buena Vista defense is all over it. Zach Mathers gets a handoff along the right side and moves the pile ahead for a gain of about 4 or 5 on the play.
Trent Scott, it appears Hadachek's going to stick with Mathers here. When Mathers in the ball game, they like to work that right side of the line. A lot of sweeps, some counters, draws, softening up the Statesman defensive core.
Zach Mathers more of a slashing type running back. Ryan Grubb more of a power head, through the tackles type of guy. So there's a lot of flexibility here. When you bring in different guys, you have each of their guys has their own strength. Josh Wigg down in the game at wide receiver. Klinkvist looking. He's got a rollout flag on the play, and probably going to be called holding against Buena Vista.
And another flag comes out. We might have grounding over there. I don't know if a receiver was in the vicinity of that Klinkenfist pass to the sideline. If so, the Statesman would take the grounding call. That's also a loss of down. Could be a big call here.
Exactly right, Andy. Call a double penalty on Buena Vista, intentional grounding as well as holding. And that is going to back the Beavers up deep in their own territory here. Not a thing you want right after a big play like an interception.
No, not at all. You know what hurts about intentional grounding? Not only do you get flagged for that 10 yards, it's an automatic loss of down. Almost a double penalty.
We'll check on how many penalties Buena Vista has here. I believe it's a total of now 8 penalties. 7 penalties for 70 yards. Well, we'll combine those 2 penalties into one and say 70 for 70 yards, and that is a first half stat, not what Coach Hadchek had in mind.
With the loss of down, it's going to be 3rd down now.
3rd down and 18. Klinkvist just hands off to Mathers. Mathers trying to find room along the right side and gets 8 yards back on that one. And the punting unit comes on.
Very important for the punt team here. Responsibility on the long snapper. Needs a good snap. Sophomore Eli Frakes jogs in. Is going to handle the punting duties.
Andy, check that. That's freshman Mike Behrens who is doing the punting duties this year. Mike Behrens is not listed in the program, but he is the punter this year for Buena Vista. And gets a nice kick underway with the wind. Arnold is back to receive at his own 42. Breaks a couple tackles. Now across midfield, and flag on the play. Brought down by number 91, John Seal, and Mike Petticourt is there as well. Seal and Petticourt doing a good job on special teams tackles early this afternoon.
Seal's having a heck of a game out there. John Fick just got blasted right in the back. That's going to be a penalty on the Statesman.
Thank you.
So this one's coming back.
Indication against William Penn is going to be clipping.
27.
That way.
The 27-9, they go. I just gave them puffs.
Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon at Bradford Field. Glad you could be with us. Scott Heinley-Lunk, Andrew Peacock, giving you all the action here this afternoon. Ryan Hutter down on the field, and a great Innovation Video sports crew doing this home opener. Buena Vista looking for its 2nd win in a row to start off this season. It'd be the first time in several years BV has started off 2-0, Andy. William Penn, 1st and 10, ball on their own 31-yard line. Caba underneath center, hands off, rolls out. And he's got to get rid of it, throws over the middle, and broken up nicely on the coverage for Buena Vista, number 41, Ben Smith, a freshman.
We've been calling a lot of freshman names today. Obviously, Coach Hadachek got out there, got some freshmen in here, receiving an opportunity to play right away on the varsity squad.
I believe there's been 4 freshmen that played today. Andy Hodges at cornerback, Ben Smith in the defensive backfield, and the 2 kickers, Carlos Martinez and Mike Behrens as well. So 4 freshmen only on this team, but making a big impact. Kebe in the shotgun. He's got some time. Now rolls out and throws it away. Fans want a flag, and they get one. Intentional grounding is going to be the call.
That's right, second in as many series here. I guess they say you play that game, we'll play it too. Officials being consistent, receiver not anywhere in the vicinity. And since he was not out of the pocket, you just can't throw that ball away.
When you look at William Penn and their strategy, they look to throw the ball. Keba will stand in there as long as he can. He'll wait till the very last second to throw the ball. He will not run with it. You won't see Keba take off running with the ball. What he's going to do is he's either going to throw into coverage or he's going to throw it away. One of the two, but they do a very good job of not taking the sack. Of course, Keba, his dad is the coach. He's coached very well, and he's going to get rid of the ball. And stats for him this afternoon. In the first half, he's 8 for 22 for 122 yards and 2 pickoffs. So under about 40% completion percentage for Keba and 2 pickoffs. Not what he had in mind, I'm sure. Now Keba, now he will take off and run with it, just as I said he wouldn't. And he's going to be far short of the first down, and it'll bring up 4th down. Punting unit comes on.
Probably not the fastest quarterback, probably not as mobile as Klinkenfuss. As you said, Scott, first time he's took off running there today. Didn't see anyone open in the downfield area. 4th down, and going to be forced to punt. We'll see what Brendan can do on the return.
And right there, that's you got to give credit to the BB defensive backfield. They played an excellent game here today. They've been rotating players in and out, but primarily that's Brian Davis, Bart Smith at cornerbacks, Jeff Brennan, and Josh Toyd at safeties. Ben Smith's been in there well as along with Andy Hodges, who's got an interception. And on to punt is Sofan Sarin. Back deep to return Jeff Brennan. Brennan breaks the tackle. Now he's got some room across the 45, across midfield. And Jeff Brennan with a nice return of about 15 yards. Punt.
Great return there, Brennan. Probably one of the second fastest player on the team. Runs about a 4.6 40. Slipped out of a couple tackles there and worked his way upfield. And we're in business in Statesman territory once again.
Referees asking for some water on the sidelines. As temperature's got to be pretty hot down there on the field. We're in the mid-80s at kickoff. 6:27 to go, first half. Beavers up 15-0. So far, no scoring here in the second half. Buena Vista did all of its scoring in the first quarter. A 15-yard Klinkfuss to try and touchdown pass put the Beavers up 7-0. About 3 minutes passed in the game, and then after a blocked punt by Wes Junge, Ryan Grubb was able to plunge over the top from 1 yard out to put Buena Vista up 13-0. Then BB set up for the extra point, and instead faked it. Ivanovich passed to Mike Menke, completing the 2-point conversion, and that's where we stand right now. Beavers up 15-0. And getting another great stat in here. The average field goal position for Buena Vista, they start out on their own 43-yard line. William Penn, meanwhile, starting out on their 20-yard line. So right there you can see it. Coach Hatchek stress special teams. It plays a big difference. And when you start out on your own 43-yard line, you have a lot less further to go. And it takes a lot of pressure off your offense to move the ball.
Exactly.
As Buena Vista gains a couple yards in the handoff. Right now we're going to take it downstairs to Ryan Harder for another field report.
Scott and Andrew, the Beavers got off to an explosive start this game with 2 touchdowns on the first 2 possessions. However, it seems that they've stalled since then or not been able to put points on the board, making little mistakes, and that's what Coach Hatchek says he's frustrated with right now, the team's little mistakes that can lead to a turnover or a big play for William Penn. So he's telling the team just to watch what they're doing, quit making the little mistakes, and just playing some football. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, Ryan. Flag on the play. It's going to be illegal procedure against the Beavers. Once again, flag. That's the 9th penalty, I believe. Chuck will check that. I believe 8 penalties for Buena Vista. 8 penalties now for 75 yards against the Beavers. And we're still 5:48 to go here in the first half. I'm sure they're going to hear about it in the locker room from Coach Hadishek. But despite that, they have a 15-0 lead. Tyler Tryon, Dave Jesse, and Brent Mackey out wide for the Beavers. Klinkvist going up top, looking for Mackey. He's wide open. Pass completed to Mackey inside the 30-yard line to about the 23. Brent Mackey had some steps on his receiver and found himself wide open on a 30-yard pass play from Klinkvist to Mackey.
Great ball there by Rob Klinkenfuss. Saw Mackey break out into the clear, had to wait just a second, otherwise it could have gone for a much bigger gain. Nonetheless, Mackey hauls that pass in. It's good to see him back. He's been a little dinged up. Been talking with him. He's excited to be out there, and that's a big gainer for the Beavers.
That's right, Mackey getting much more playing time this afternoon than he did last week against Upper Iowa. And he stays in there on this one. And the Beavers are in business in the red zone once again today, looking to tack on to their 15-0 lead. Klinkvist hand off to Zach Mathers right up the middle. Mathers plows ahead for a gain of about 3.
Tell you what, Zach Mathers, the workhorse in the backfield right now. It was running back by committee, but Hadishek's going to go with more experienced Mathers as he comes up limping a little bit here. Looks like he might have turned an ankle in there.
And a reminder to stay tuned for halftime. We have a good show for you. There's going to be a Hall of Fame. 3 members of Buena Vista Athletics are going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. And then we'll have the drill team will be out, and also we'll have a special, something special is going to happen at halftime. We're not going to give it away, but you're going to want to keep it right here. We'll just say it's going to be pretty exciting. So stick around for that. That'll be toward the end of halftime. We got halftime stats. We'll have highlights for you. Ryan Harder will be doing his thing. That's coming up. And right now, Buena Vista threatening to score once again. They scored on their first 2 drives of the game. And 4:41 here to go in the first half, knocking on the door.
I got back up.
Ryan Grubb, John Feck in the backfield, Klinkvist underneath center. And Klinkvist turns and calls timeout. Saw something he didn't like in the defense and makes a smart play, wants to talk it over.
Trey Scott, he went up and surveyed the line. Probably saw a play that was not going to work. Does a smart thing, like you said, calls timeout. He's going to talk it over with the coaches in the huddle and see what the offensive coordinator has drawn up. They're facing a 3rd down and 3 at the Statesman 10-yard line. And if they punch this in, this could be a good bulge going into the halftime break.
Buena Vista band on hand here. And Zach Mathers being worked on right now. We get a good look from one of our 2 field cams this afternoon. Leanne Hakeman, the head trainer, taking a look.
I can't tell. It appears to be a knee or an ankle. Looks like
Zach's been dinged up throughout his whole career, and hopefully that's nothing serious. Right now, Mathers this afternoon, 10 carries for 81 yards. And still, first half stats there for Mathers, so he's been a huge part of this game so far for Buena Vista. And the Beavers really need him to stay healthy throughout the year because he adds that extra dimension of speed and breakaway ability in the backfield. Every time he touches the ball, certainly he's got a chance to break one. And there's really not too many other players in the backfield that you can say that about. So Mathers, really a key component this year, and if they can keep him healthy, the offense is going to be so much harder to stop. And right now he's walking around the sidelines trying to not walk it off. 3rd down and 3 for Buena Vista. Klinkvist hands off to Grubb. Grubb is hit at the point of attack and dropped immediately. On the tackle is free safety Gabriel Washington for the Statesman, the first one to make contact.
That was a good read. They gave Grubb a little sprint draw out to the outside. Gabriel didn't go for it, and he downed him. We're going to see Martinez jog onto the field. And we're looking at about a 27-yard field goal. Let's see what Carlos can do.
And it's right now going to be about a 32-yard attempt, they're going to call it, for Martinez. He's already 0 for 1 today with the block, but this one's right through the uprights. Martinez on the 32-yard field goal puts Buena Vista up 18-0.
And his confidence will just keep growing. Like we said earlier, game-winning field goal in overtime, lifting Buena Vista to the win. 24-21 in Fayette last weekend. His first hit a long attempt today, 1 for 2 on the day. And he's going to be an integral part to the Beavers' success this season. Kicking game and special teams big for the Beavers this afternoon.
Martinez 1 for 2 on the day. Kicking, he had his first field goal blocked. Late in the first, or actually that was early in the second quarter. William Penn will have 3 minutes, 49 seconds here to try to mount a scoring drive before the end of the half. Martinez with the kick, and he is a deep kickoff guy. But this one, not a very good kick at all. Ball bounces at about the 20 and is picked up, fumbled by William Penn. Taken out past the 30-yard line. William Penn has not fared well on offense. So far, a punt, a blocked punt, an interception, another punt, a missed field goal, an interception, and another punt. So they're 0 for their first 8 possessions of the game. That's what I have them down for anyway. In the shotgun is Kaba with 3:38 to go. He'll try to move William Penn 70 yards. And fake handoff, a little miscommunication there, that play on the Statesman, and Kaba's going to take off and run with it. And he gets the ball across the 40-yard line. So still a gain of about 7 or 8 yards in that play. Good job of improvisation there.
What appeared as going to be a draw up the middle looked like a busted play. The running back looked like he didn't want to take the ball. Cable was forced to scramble and run outside. Not the fleetest of foot, but he did gain about 7 yards on that carry.
Second down and 2, they'll call it. 3 minutes, 1 second to go as the clock running. And now we stop and play. Timeout, William Penn. They're going to set up their offense here for the final 3 minutes of the half and figure out what they want to do. So far, Buena Vista dominating the time of possession, too. We don't have those stats, but last week, Buena Vista held a 15-minute advantage over Upper Iowa, and that was a huge key into the game. Buena Vista, not the most potent offense in the world. They're just going to try to grind it out. You know, they can't strike really quick, but the one thing they are capable of doing is holding onto the ball and keeping the other offense off the field, which is, that is a huge thing as well. If you have a potent offense like in Upper Iowa last week or William Penn this week, if you can keep them off the field as long as possible, not allow them to get in a rhythm, Andy, that's just as important.
Exactly right, Scott. You limit their opportunities on the field, they're just not going to score. Coach Caba said before, they have the offense to score early and often. We've held them in check now. We can't take chances in the second half, so we want to win that time of possession battle.
And the rushing yardage for William Penn so far this afternoon has been non-existent. They've had 9 carries for about 32 yards. Caba had 2 carries for 19, and the rest of the team 7 carries for 13 yards. So that BV defensive line doing a good job stopping the run. And once again right there, Josh Twait making a big tackle. Nice open field tackle there by Josh Twait.
Tell you what, he's having a heck of a ball game out there. Coming off the corner spot, a little bit of a blitz. He sees a handoff go up and left and around the corner, and he fills it very nicely.
And there's the Boathouse Bunch on top of the bus across the way, right on Lake Shore Drive. And 6 tackles now in the game for Josh Twait. Brings up 1st and 10. Actually, that was enough for the first down, though. So it's 1st and 10, ball on the 45. Caba back to pass, passes over the middle, completed to Arnold. Inside the 40, down to about the 38. Tackle made on the play by Jeff Brennan.
All around good play. Caba delivered the ball right where it needed to be to his receiver out there in the midst of about 5 Beaver defenders. Threaded the needle.
And that seems to have been Williams Penn's most successful play here in the first half, is that quick crossing pattern over the middle. And Arnold has been the top receiving guy for William Penn.
Showing 3 wideouts once again.
Clock rolling with 2:14 to go here before the first half. Beavers up 18-0. The handoff, it goes nowhere. On the tackle for Buena Vista, number 59, Nate Barrett in there, made initial contact. 1:56 now to go before halftime. William Penn, you'd think right here, not thinking field goal. They're against the wind for one thing, but they're down 18. They need a touchdown here.
You're right, Scott. If they get down there on 4th down with less than 10 yards to go, they'll sure as heck go for it. They need a score here.
Lloyd Nolan splits to the near side. William Penn has not went to him lately, but there they throw it to him. And pass broken up nicely and nearly picked off. Bart Smith there to tip it. And Jeff Brennan made a diving attempt to grab it and just couldn't hold on.
There's that Smith kid again, the freshman out of Guthrie Center. Cava threw that ball to the inside. I think it needed the outside. Looked like another fade route.
Okay.
To his favorite target, Nolan.
1:32 to go before the half. 3rd down and 8, ball on the 37-yard line. Cava underneath center, Nolan to the near side. He's got Bakersville and Arnold on the other side. And we have movement all over the place. False start against William Penn.
And I guess we should point out, there's been a lot of penalties, but each squad, it's a second game. There's still probably time to look. Although I've had a lot of practice time with 2 days in August and all that. Only the second game, still working out some interquarks. A little excited up there on the line of scrimmage. Nonetheless, a lot of yards and penalties. It must be about 15, 20 total penalties in this ball game so far. Kind of the first half has slowed down here.
Okay, that brings up 3rd down and 13. Ball on the 42. Penalties so far, Buena Vista 8 for 75 yards. William Penn 4 for 40 yards. Now Cava drives back in the shotgun. Buena Vista switching on defense as well. Pass over the middle, complete and dropped. Jeff Brennan making a huge hit. Oh, Jeff Brennan laying the smack down. And on the intended receiver. And we don't have that number for William Penn, but it was number 5 for William Penn. And crossing pattern over the middle, Jeff Brennan coming over from his free safety spot, laying a big hit to jar that one loose. And that's saved at 1st down. It's going to bring on the punting unit for William Penn here.
I'll tell you what, that's a free safety's job back there. They want to be the headhunter back there. They see that ball coming across the middle, they're going to put a hat on somebody. Brennan with a fair catch at about his own 13-yard line. 1:19 to go before halftime.
Okay, Andy, here's the situation. You're backed up, ball on your 13-yard line. Like you said, only a little bit more than a minute left. Coach Hatchek, you try to move the ball here, maybe get your team in field goal position. Remember, you got a nice field goal kicker. You're with the wind here. Do you want to utilize that, maybe throw up top with the wind, or do you want to just sit on the ball? Hopefully you don't make any plays that you would regret because you got an 18-point lead here.
Well, that formation signals are going to go for it as another flag falls here. But yeah, you can move the tale of two schools right here. You can either just take a knee and be content with an 18-0 lead going in the locker room, or you can try to drive down the field and maybe risk a turnover.
I think the Beavers would be content going into the locker room up 18-0 here. And once again, another penalty on Buena Vista. That's 9 penalties now for 85 yards in the game. Actually, I think it might be 10 penalties. But in any case, it's too many for Coach Hadicek. Quick quarterback comparison here. Rob Klinkfest, 6 for 10 for 94 yards and a touchdown. And his counterpart on the other side, Michael Cava, 9 for 25 for 139 yards, but 2 interceptions as well. And nearly 3 as Jeff Brennan just nearly picked one off moments ago. Klinkfest hands off to his fullback.
Statler's on the stairs. Tackled by Matthews and Sands.
Number 44 is in there right now.
1 on the play. Makes it 2nd and 14. Ball on the 10-yard line.
Ball on the 10, 2nd and 14 for BV.
He's not wrapped up with a skin, is he?
Number 44 in there at fullback now for Buena Vista. Luke Truitt. Now that's Heath Statler. Excuse me, Heath Statler. As we got double up on numbers. Heath Statler started a couple games last year. Actually, was most consistent running back for stretches.
Yoder and others with the tackle for William Penn.
William Penn's going to call timeout here. They want another crack at the offensive side here. 17 seconds. They should get the ball
9.
back with a few seconds to spare. Maybe a time to run a couple plays. Look for a fair catch on the punt, so they have maybe time for 2 or 3 plays. Going to get some points on the scoreboard, Scott.
"17 seconds remaining here. On Student Athlete Visit Day here on the campus of Buena Vista University, a lot of incoming, potential incoming freshmen, athletes being toured around by members of Buena Vista University and getting a chance to see an excellent ball game here this afternoon. Reminder, at the end of the game, Andy and I will be choosing our players of the game, and immediately following the game, Andy will have interviews with those players, and Ryan Harder will be talking to Coach Hadcheck on his thoughts. Some more stats for you. Buena Vista 27 rushes for 138 yards. William Penn, meanwhile, going into the air, only rushing 11 times for 26 yards. So BV's shutting down William Penn to about 2.3 yards per carry. Klink was back to throw. It's going deep for Tyler Tryon. Overthrows him, and ball nearly picked off at about midfield, but William Penn couldn't come down with it. On the coverage for the Statesman, number 9, Gabriel Washington. And number 40, Peter Paris.
And Scott with just 10 ticks remaining.
4th and 10.
Halftime. What Buena Vista doesn't want to do, they just want to get this kick away. They don't want a real deep punt. Want a good snap. Just get the kick away, because I'm sure they're going to bring everybody.
Actually, William Penn looks like it's going to set up the return here with 10 seconds to go. Mike Behrens to punt it, and it's a good one. Another good one for Mike Behrens. Arnold all the way back to his 40. He has to back up, and BB wants a clip on the play as Jeff Brennan was taken out of the picture by Washington. But no flag is thrown, and William Penn will not get a chance to run any plays. The half runs out. Beavers lead it 18-0 going into the locker room. We'll have a great halftime show for you coming up. Stay tuned for more Innovation Video Sports.
"20 kids. For 1 hour a week, you leave your concrete world of flip phones and faxes and talk to 20 kids about how business works. They will question everything, but those 20 kids will talk to 20 more. So by Saturday, what you said on Thursday could be halfway around their world. You get to make a difference. Could just make the rest of your week pretty dull. That's the new JA, teaching kids how business works.
I hang out with a pretty trashy circle. The circle that helps this circle by recycling trash. We sort glass, plastic, separate cans, stack newspapers and magazines. Now, thanks to us, there are lots of products made from things we've already recycled. This cereal box wants your Sunday paper. These paper clips, in a more daring life, a 56 convertible. The circle works like this. It starts when we recycle trash at home and at work. It's completed when we buy products made from or packaged in recycled materials. How do you know the difference? Check the label for something called post-consumer recycled content. It looks like this. Make a mental note. Then buy the highest percentage of it you can find. You'll save a tree, you'll save energy, and in your own way, you'll help save the world. Complete the circle.
Call 1-800-CALL-EDF for your free Buy Recycled shopping guide. 1-800-CALL-EDF.
We are fortunate to have many current Hall of Famers with us this afternoon. We thank them for the level of excellence that they have brought to our university and are glad that they have traveled home to honor those who will newly be inducted today. We now direct your attention to the track in front of the stadium as we introduce this year's 1998 Hall of Fame inductees. It was easy for the BVU coaches to establish what kind of player our first Hall of Fame inductee would be because they had been watching this young lady play softball and basketball as a tornado at Storm Lake High School for several years. A woman for every season, Julie Kieran would run cross country in the fall, move to basketball in the winter, lace up track shoes in the spring, and fill her summer with softball. What's more, she excelled in them all. When Julie took to the softball field her freshman year at Buena Vista, it was not as a catcher, the position she had played in high school. Her college softball coach, Marge Willitson, says they moved Julie to outfield because we knew she could run down about anything, was quick as a cat, and had the leadership necessary to be in the center field. That was how it all started. When her college career was up, Julie would have a list of accomplishments longer than almost any other young female athlete of her time. In softball, she was an All-American, academic All-American, and an All-Iowa Conference selection, team MVP, and team captain. She was also a member of Iowa Conference Regional and National Softball Championships teams. Her senior year team contributions were noteworthy in both basketball and in softball, but the statistics in softball were truly astounding. She led the team in overall batting average at .347, led the team in hits with 38, in runs scored with 26, in walks with 18, in stolen bases with 14, and on-base percentage. Athletics took up much of this young lady's time, but she was also active in many other activities while attending Buena Vista University. Julie was active on the Student Activities Board, Homecoming Planning Committee, and was the sports editor for the school newspaper. During her senior year, she was a resident advisor, voted Senior of the Year for 1987, and was a Homecoming Queen candidate, all this while maintaining a 3.7 grade point average. After graduating with a BA in Corporate Management from Buena Vista, Julie went on to obtain her Master's of Arts in Communication Studies in 1995. She is now the Vice President in Marketing at St. Luke's Shawnee Mission Healthcare Center in Kansas City, Missouri. Julie's softball coach, Marge Willitson, will now present the Hall of Fame plaque.
Okay, welcome back here. We're at halftime. Scott Heinle along with Andrew Peacock. Your score, Buena Vista leads it 18-0 over William Penn. A couple of touchdowns right off the bat on the first two drives of the game and a field goal added. And that's your score, 18-0. And Andy, right now we're having the 1998 Hall of Fame inductees for Buena Vista, and three pretty good candidates this year.
Well, I tell you what, they're on the field right now. The first one they were talking about, Julie Quirin, and she was a multi-sport athlete here at Buena Vista in softball. She was an All-American, academic All-American, All-Iowa Conference selection, team MVP, and team captain. She was also a member of the Iowa Conference Regional National Softball Championship teams. And just a few noteworthy things there. Team contributions were noteworthy in both basketball and softball. She led the team in overall batting average at .347 in hits, runs, walks, and stolen base and on-base percentage. And I'm moving on to Paul Van Osbury. He was the 11th in the family at 12, and he was a next Hall of Famer that was inducted here out of Emmetsburg. The honors that Paul Van Osbury had as a NCAA All-American 3 times, co-captain of the BVU wrestling squad twice, MVP wrestler in '84, and most valuable BVU invite wrestler in '86. The third one, some of you know her, she coached volleyball here last year, Jeannie Deemers-Henningsen, probably one of the better basketball players in the history of the Iowa Conference, first team academic All-American both in basketball and softball. She was here and she just racked up lots of stats. Currently the NC2A all-time career leading scorer with 3,171 points. Of course, that was prior to the advent of the three-point line, so catching up. And that's just a quick wrap-up of of the inductees, Hall of Famers on the field at this time.
That's right, and Jeannie Henningsen at one point was featured on ABC Wide World of Sports as a Player of the Week, so that's a great honor for her. And we have a great halftime show coming up for you. What we're going to do, when we come back from this quick break we're going to take, we're going to have first half highlights, we're going to wrap up some stats, and we have a special program coming at halftime. You're not going to want to miss it. I can't give it away, but all I can say is stay tuned, folks. We'll be back right after this.
Only you
can prevent forest fires.
And it's true. We know we can count on you to do what Smokey says.
drown your campfires with water. Make sure it's totally wet. Then stir and drown again.
We know we can count on you to do what Smokey says.
Only you can prevent forest fires.
What would you do if you had to choose between the buffalo and the giraffes? Between a flower or an elephant? What would you choose? What if you had to decide between a 100-year-old tree and a 1,000,000-year-old beach? Between drinking clean water or breathing clean air? Would you make the right choice? Would there be a right choice? Now there's a way to help. Not just one, but all these things. EarthShare, the world's leading environmental group.